What is up, soccer friends? Welcome to Kickback Committee. We're glad you're here. I'm your host, Susanna Fuller, and it is a big day here on the Kickback Committee because today we welcome in our newest committee member. Walker Zimmerman is making his committee debut. Now, this wasn't just a get for Kickback Committee, okay, people? This was like we made this like wish list of people that we thought would be ideal for the Kickback Committee, and Walker Zimmerman truly was top of my list. And they were like, do you think we can get him? And I was like, I don't know, but I think he'd be so good at this, and I know him a little bit, and so I shot my shot. Shoot my shot.
Yeah, shot your shot.
I took my shot. Anyway, it all worked out, and Walker is here, and I'm just going to brag on you for a little bit, Walker, because the people need to know how truly incredible your career is and has been leading up to your Kickback Committee debut. You're a 2-time MLS Defender of the Year, 5-time MLS Best 11 member, 4-time MLS All-Star. You've won the Supporter Shield and the U.S. Open Cup twice, and has represented the U.S. at the highest level, winning Gold Cups, CONCACAF Nations League, and anchoring the back line at the 2022 World Cup, and now featuring for Toronto FC's back line. Did I miss anything, Walker?
No, I think you more than covered it. Yeah.
Okay.
Truly flattering.
I mean, but it's all facts. I mean, that's the thing. You can't hide. You can't hide from the truth, my guy.
That is true.
Like, you're kind of epic. You're kind of epic, and we're so absolutely thrilled to have you. Walker, we actually go way back. Way back. I feel like this was, a 2018.
2018 or probably 2018 first
year. What was your first season
in
LAFC?
Yeah.
So
Bird
Walker
scooter
and
That's it.
My job was pretty awesome back then, huh? They're like, hey, Susanna, do you want to go hang out in Los Angeles with Walker Zimmerman and ride bird scooters around Santa Monica? I was like, yep. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Tuesday afternoon.
I mean, look at us just basking in the glow.
Yes.
I feel like I remember going to your apartment. I met Sally for the first time. You guys were just like getting settled into Los Angeles, and look at you now.
Not a worry in the world. Pre-kids, pre-COVID. I mean, we were just loving life out there for sure.
Oh my gosh. Does it feel like a million years ago?
Yeah. I mean, time goes by so fast. I'm such a nostalgic person, but I feel like even more so once you start having kids, I'm like, what in the world? Like, now I'm about to have a third, and I feel like this photo was like yesterday.
I know. We look so young and hopeful.
Yeah, not knowing what's around the corner.
Yeah, literally. Oh my God, a different lifetime ago. And now look at you embarking on a podcasting career on top of being the phenomenal soccer player that you are. Just give me the facts. When I first reached out, was getting into like the media side of things, like just dipping your toe in. Was that something you had ever thought about? Because I thought from the minute I met you, I was like, this guy will work in media someday.
I mean, I like to talk. I love communications. That was my major in college that I finished many years after down the road.
At Furman University?
I mean, that's where it started. Shout out Dens in the March Madness tourney. Going to upset UConn, but I probably still won't pick them, but I'm rooting for them.
Let's go.
Yeah, I started at Furman, and then, had some classes at University of North Dakota, and then finished at Southern New Hampshire University.
Oh, as many MLS players do. Yes.
And so, I finally got to walk in my cap and gown at a Christmas party in Baltimore at my in-laws' house on Christmas Eve. Like, I don't even know what year it was, but many years after I would have graduated college. So got my degree in communications. I have dabbled in some podcasts, been guests a couple times or two. But I think ultimately I wanted to go into public speaking. I think that's the main arena that I see myself in. So that's still media.
It
You know,
definitely is. And
it fits the bill.
this is a way to, just sort of like
Hone in
earn
the
your
skills.
chops, hone the
Yeah,
skills and get your reps in,
that's
get
it.
comfortable.
Right.
Okay, well, we're delighted to be that vehicle for you,
Yes.
Walker. Use us. Use
Yes.
us,
Well,
and then when you are making like millions and millions of dollars on your public speaking tours, you can say, I have kickback committee
that's
to
right. To
thank.
think. Yeah, for all the reps, the stumbles, the ability to think on your feet.
I I mean, I stumble all the time. It's just part of it, but it's how you recover.
I
A
agree.
lot like in soccer, like it's you make a lot of mistakes, but it's how you recover. Like
Yep.
that's just what it's about.
It's thanks to Sylvester Stallone. What is it in the last Rocky movie? He's like,
Oh,
doesn't matter how hard you get hit, it's about how many times you can get hit and keep moving forward.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, the Rocky speech gets me every
Yeah.
time. Well, here we go. We're about to embark on a new journey for you. And just a reminder, everybody, this is Kickback Committee. We are a part of Kickback Soccer Media. You can find us on Blue Sky and on Instagram. Make sure you check out all our other podcasts too, including Soccer Wise, First Touch Weekly, which is a one-of-a-kind World Cup 2026 dedicated show. We're now on Sirius XM as well, so make sure you check us out on the Sirius XM app or catch us on select days on Sirius XM FC 157. But for now, let's get into it. I'm really excited to have this chat with you, Walker, because I'm very curious. I know you. I feel like the public knows you as a soccer player, but
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to get to know you a little bit as like a soccer fan, like what you
Yeah.
pay attention to outside of Major League Soccer and playing for Toronto FC, which we'll hit on in a bit. But we've got a lot going on in the soccer world right now. Obviously, MLS is going on. The USL season started. European leagues are starting their final stretch into the title races. So there's a lot to talk about. First of all, I have to give big love to our fellow committee member and owner of NWSL Debutants Denver Summit, Jordan Angeli. They played their first ever match at the weekend. It was a 2-1 loss to Bay FC, but it was a very valiant 2-1 loss. They scored their first professional goal. They got a red card in this one. I mean, they really
check all the boxes.
really
right
went for it in
Yep.
their debut. So we're obviously super stoked for Jordan and Denver Summit. When you played for LAFC, Walker, and it was like their first season, do you kind of remember, like, did you feel any pressure to be like, okay, well, we have to make a statement right out of the gate and sort of establish who we are going to be as a club immediately?
I think we did. I think
Yeah.
that was something that, I think Bob Bradley did a good job of coming in and setting the tone of, hey, this isn't just about being an expansion team. Like, we are a team in this league. I don't care that we are one. We're not going to think that way. And we're going to come in guns blazing. And I think in large part, we had a roster to do it as well with that team. We were bringing a lot of experience, a lot of veterans, a lot of youth, a lot of stars, highlighted obviously with Carlos Vela. And, we kind of hit the ground running and kind of didn't look back those first 2 seasons.
No, you did not. It was so fun to watch. And I just remember thinking, like, man, they got everything right, like, just like, even in terms of just the branding and the awareness in Los Angeles. And like,
Yep.
you would go to LA and see signage everywhere. And obviously, like, the gold
And the
and
stars
black.
backing it for sure.
100%.
And now that's why I'm excited for Denver. I mean, they got our girl Lindsay, she's coming back. And shout out to her for winning on the weekend as well.
No kidding.
Another trophy to her trophy case. But yeah, I'm excited for her to come back and obviously make an impact in this league, because she's done so much for the sport and so much for women's soccer over the last decade. So I just saw their post of her scoring in 12 straight years for the women's national team. So shout out to her. I can't wait to watch her, crush it in the NWSL. And it speaks to that signing, the key signings that you mentioned, the Carlos Vela of LAFC as Lindsay Heaps in Denver.
Yep, they absolutely nailed it there. I'm super excited to keep tabs on them all season long. All right, Walker, let's chat a little MLS. Obviously, we watched Toronto FC taking on the Red Bulls, which ended up resulting in a 1-1 draw after the Red Bulls somehow found an equal, literally the last kick of the game. It was the last.
The last pick, yeah.
Can I be honest? I was like, when are they going to blow the whistle? Like, were you
Yeah.
guys thinking that as well? Because I was like, there were 2 minutes past stoppage time. Like, what is happening?
Yeah. So obviously there was an injury late, and there was a stoppage, but the ref said, "Hey, it's going till 96:30."
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, 96:30, and when is that corner kick? It goes out of bounds, like pretty much right at it. So I'm turning around, I'm telling everyone, "Hey, this is last play. Like, this is the last play. Lock in. This is it. Get it out of our box." Obviously, we couldn't get it cleared. They, kind of just scrum in the box, deflection here, and then a shot that kind of looped into the top corner. And those are the games where those are valuable points. Everyone always talks about, like, really matters in September, October. I'm the opposite. I'm like, 3 points are available, and it's the last play of the game. Points are just as valuable now as they are later on, and especially at home. It was our home opener, and we have this 9-game stretch here at our home stadium, and so those were important points. But at the end of the day, we talked about it, we watched it. It wasn't our best day. We probably went out there maybe not even deserving the full 3 points, but we found ourselves in a position to then win them, and so it's still disappointing. I remember watching that ball go in and just hitting the ground, knowing like it's not even worth going up to the halfway line. Like he's blowing the whistle as soon as we kick off. So that was definitely disappointing. Thought we put in a lot of good work, but we weren't great on the day. But sometimes if you can win those ugly games, that's same as winning the pretty ones.
Yeah, no, 100%. It was just one of those results that felt so annoying for you guys.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh man, like just so close. But yeah, it is one of those things. And at the end of the match, I feel like, anything, when there's that chaos right in front of goal, it's like anything can happen.
And how many last minute goals do we have this week?
Oh
there were so many.
So
I saw
many.
Houston's, because I didn't even watch the game, and I saw it was 105th minute. I'm like, what happened in that game?
I know.
Wild
results in MLS this weekend. So for you guys, P.S. I want to give you a shout out because you had an 8.0 rating on FOTMob, my friend, in this game. You put your body on the line on this one. I saw you making some goal line clearances. So I just wanted to shout out your FOTMob score because I feel like, they don't get it right all the time, but I feel like
that's the job. Clear balls, make plays. So we got to do.
How do you feel like you guys are gelling with all the new pieces? Obviously, so cool to see Josh Sargent out there getting some minutes. Daniel Shallowy's got a couple goals in 2 games. Do you feel like, this is, obviously it's early days, but how excited are you about the potential of this team?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, you look at a lot of teams around the league, and I feel like they had a real build up with their preseason with full rosters, and you look at a lot of our key contributors even in the last 2 games. You mentioned Shallowy, obviously Josh getting his first minutes, people coming back from injury, like DeAndre Curry who subbed in, who's been out all year for us. We've had a lot of guys just out, whether that was from bringing them in late or from injury, and so we have an Emilio who came in as a later signing. And not all of that, it just is what it is. Sometimes you have to try to get the right people. It just takes some time. And so we're trying to find our footing a little bit, getting to know our players, getting to know our roster, getting to know what formation works best, what combination of players work best, how they feed off each other, understand each other's movements. And so much that goes into it, but we're kind of trying to learn on the fly a little bit more than maybe some other teams who had kind of fuller rosters set. But all that being said, I think, we're excited about the future of this club. I think for the first time, I know from speaking with some of the guys who are here, I think there's a real optimism around the group and around, what we're, hoping to accomplish this year. So yeah, I'm excited to be a part of it. And I think, we got a lot of things to keep improving, but, have some good pieces now to add to that.
I like the character of this team. I feel like you just have some really good personalities on this team. And I'm excited to see how it all comes together. It's early days.
It is,
Walker, and you can get those few points back at some point this season.
That's
I feel it in my bones. You mentioned the Houston match. Were there any other MLS results that kind of stood out to you? Maybe raised an
I mean,
eyebrow or
the ones
two?
that happened on Sunday. I mean, you look at obviously the Revs game and then the Vancouver game.
Right?
Anytime you see six goals, and I didn't watch either of those games, but I opened the app. While I think my wife and I have been watching the latest Bridgerton season,
Oh,
and
fantastic.
of
Yes.
course we finished an episode. I opened the app. I'm like, wait, what? 6 goals in 2 games? Sally, I think even it caught her attention. She's like, wait, 6?
I know.
A touchdown?
I know. I know. It was
Crazy. So
wild,
very,
wild.
very bizarre to have those back to back.
I know, and especially again, like Cincinnati, who is a team that's projected to be competing for the Supporters Shield,
Yeah.
and just stacked with talent, and they've had kind of a shocker out of the gate. So yeah, there were definitely
We've seen it before with teams
We
that are
have.
in the extra competitions as well. I mean, you start rotating lineups, you start getting some tired legs and minds, and things can happen. So it shows too. Like the league is growing. It's obviously gotten more competitive, but I think you see some of these results and it's a wake up call. It's like, okay, if we don't show up and we don't show up to play, like I don't care if we're a team that finished first last year or last, like anything can happen.
Big facts, my friend. Okay, so Walker, what else? What else are you paying attention to in the soccer world? Like, do you follow other leagues? Do you follow European leagues? Do you have a club? Like, what are you watching?
It's funny because I feel like for the most part, I just keep tabs on my friends, whether it's other national team guys
Yeah.
or players that I've played with in the past that have gone overseas. But honestly, I'm really just following their careers, their games, their goals. Send them a message after they score, get a big win, and I don't have a favorite team. I don't have a team that I'm waking up every Saturday morning to watch in the Prem. I'm just kind
Yeah.
of rooting for our guys, rooting for the success of their careers, and obviously, following them more closely than other teams. But yeah, I am a free agent when it comes to rooting for a team.
Ooh, even growing up, like as a kid, did you have a team?
No, because
No?
honestly, I mean, it sounds kind of like the cliche, like American answer, where it's like I literally grew up for sure watching Sports Center, watching all the other sports as well as soccer. Like I do remember watching kind of the early MLS Cup playoffs where I'm watching, the Brian Chings, the Landon Donovans. I watched Beckham come in and all those playoffs. But I had on all the other sports as well. I'm watching the NBA finals. I'm watching the World Series. I'm watching Super Bowls. I just grew up playing all the other sports as well. So I think it kind of took some time away from maybe a lot of the European mindset where you eat, sleep, and breathe football. And so that wasn't me growing up. Doesn't mean I don't love the sport. I do love the sport, love competing and playing, but I do think that, having grown up that way, I don't have a full fandom for a team.
I love that. I think that just makes you well-rounded,
Yeah.
Walker. It also
Yeah.
primes you for being a member of the media and having to be unbiased because
That's
like
right.
you, I mean, full disclosure, obviously I have a You'll Never Walk
I
Alone
saw that.
sign up.
Yes, yes.
I'm a huge Liverpool fan and have been for many, many, many years. But when I was working for MLS, like you can't really like I would cheer for guys that I liked. I would cheer for you all the time because
Yep.
you were a wonderful human and I wanted to see you do well. So like that's kind of where your allegiances are. So that I feel like you're in a perfect spot right
Yeah.
now. You're approaching it correctly.
Thankfully we have friends who are playing on good teams in big games. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
not like I'm paying attention to like some crazy leagues and things like that. It's like, no, I get to watch them compete on a weekly basis at the highest level. And that's really fun and special. And I know they appreciate, when guys check in on them because they can get lonely over there sometimes. And it just keeps us connected to root for each other.
Who that's playing in Europe right now are you in contact the most with?
For sure, probably Christian Pulisic.
Yeah.
Love talking to him, catching up, about soccer life in general. Brendan Aronson's always a fun FaceTime. I mean, I just love talking to him and Milena and watching all of their Instagrams of where they're going on the off days and what coffee shops or bakeries they're going into. So I like to give them a call and a checkup every once in a while. But yeah, those. I mean, there's a ton of guys over there where it's, hey, they do well. You send a little note, hey, congrats on the big win, or on the counter if they go through an injury and like, hey, man, hope you feel better soon, or thinking of you. And and all that. So it's the cool part about, I think, playing on the international stage and having teammates in other parts of the world.
I love that. Love that so much. Okay, so I mentioned on the top of the show, you've won the U.S. Open Cup twice. U.S. Open Cup kicks off this week,
Yes.
which is really fun. I remember we had you on Kickback Committee last year ahead of Nashville's appearance in the final, which you guys ended up winning, which was so cool. So obviously, this is a competition that's near and dear to your heart. My husband Ian is the One Knox coach, and they have to go to New Jersey, and they are playing it's basically a Hungarian men's league, like men's league.
Love
team,
that.
which is so wild. I was like, what is this? What is going on? Do you have any fun memories of US Open Cup, of kind of playing these like rando teams, or did you have to go somewhere just kind of like off the beaten path
I have
matchups?
On an individual level, I have a love-hate relationship with the Open Cup because I'm pretty sure that at least 2, possibly 3 times I've gotten hurt in an Open Cup game that's happened on like the midweek. And it's been like a hamstring. It was earlier on in my career for sure. And so one of them was away to Tampa.
Okay.
One of them was a home game in Dallas, but we played at SMU. Or no, we played at maybe TCU, I think. So like, yeah, you play in some different venues, some smaller parks. We played, I think we played Louisville one year with Nashville. It was a good game.
I bet that was awesome.
A good team. But it's fun. It's fun knowing that, you can go into the smaller venue and the smaller club and their fans are so excited, and it's, the biggest game ever. And it's also a good test. It's a good test mentally for the MLS teams, because usually in the earlier rounds, there's a lot of rotation. There's a lot of opportunity for guys that maybe haven't played. And I know that we won Open Cup in Nashville last year, but you look at our first 2-3 rounds and we had a rotated squad, and we sent a whole different group of 11 guys who hadn't played on the weekend, on kind of the bookend weekend. And they went away to Orlando City and beat an Orlando team that hadn't lost in like 12 games or something, and beat them 3-2. And played unbelievably well. And that set up our whole run. And so like, it's kind of like, oh, we just won. Now we're in the quarterfinal. Like, we got a real shot at this thing. And it's set up from the work of the guys who maybe haven't played as many minutes. And it allowed us to continue good form, in MLS play. So I think that's my favorite part about it, is for the MLS teams, it's a chance for younger players to develop, get that real experience, mentally feel like they're in it and a part of it. And then 2, for smaller clubs, it's like their biggest game of the year, and their fans get to experience like this atmosphere that is different, and even seeing some of their favorite players in the MLS play at their home stadium.
I know. I 100% agree with you. I think that is the coolest part. And so like I told Ian, I was like, this is going to be wild to see like who actually like shows up for this match. If they have this team has a following, like, I don't know, like, all of these guys. So I love the US Open Cup. We love the US Open Cup here, a Kickback Committee. So we're definitely going to be keeping tabs on all of that, especially these early stages. It's so much fun, guys. If you're not paying attention, you should. Lastly, Walker, Champions League? Does Champions League move the needle for you? Do you pay attention to Champions League at all?
I pay attention probably at this stage. Once it gets to that round of 16, you start getting some interesting matchups. And it's not like I'm watching every game, but it's like, oh, if a big one's on, like, it'll make its way onto the TV, or it'll be on in the locker room if we're a little bit later in training. And so I start paying attention more so. And again, like, if my obviously friends or teammates are playing, like, I'm tracking their games for sure. But yeah, I would say I'm a very casual follower. Yeah. And then maybe once it gets to the semifinal, final, then I got my eyes on it.
Pay a little bit more attention. Yeah. It's there's some really, really good matchup this week. We're looking at the second legs. City versus Real Madrid is probably a big one for people to follow. City are down 3-0 in that tie, which is crazy. Yeah. Bodo Glimt has been kind of the feel good.
Them. Yep.
How cool is this story? Walker, did you know that Bodo is in the Arctic Circle? It's in the Arctic Circle.
It's no fluke what they're doing, because they've done it too many times.
It's crazy.
You can win a one-off game, you can win a one-off series, but like what they're doing right now, I mean, it can't be a fluke.
It is not a fluke. They play really, really pretty soccer. They are so organized. They're up 3-0 against Sporting CP, which is a very big club in Portugal. They are absolutely one to watch. If people are looking for kind of a underdog story,
like
so
I said,
to
I'm
speak.
a free agent, so maybe that's my sign. Maybe that's my Champions League team this year.
Yes. Let's I kind of like this for you, Walker. I
Yeah.
also let it's kind of like quirky and cool and like not mainstream. Like if you were like, oh, I'm going to become a City fan, I'd be like, oh no, that doesn't fit. I feel like Bodo Glimt could be the one for you. Just food for thought. What else? We've got Barcelona and Newcastle. They're tied at 1 apiece, so that one is going to be interesting. Barcelona, obviously, a formidable force, but I feel like Newcastle can sometimes surprise you. So if I was going to pick 3 matches to pay attention to this week, those are the ones, guys. All right, moving it along, we're going to have a proper catch up with Walker Zimmerman because it's been a very busy off season for our guy here. Joined Toronto FC this off season after 6 seasons in Nashville. I want to kind of dive into like what that looks like when the decision is made and suddenly you have to kind of like basically uproot your life at a moment's notice and kind of everything that goes into it. I remember having a conversation with Dax McCarty's wife, Jen, and it was right when he had made the move from Chicago to Nashville. And she had a full-time job that she had to, somehow figure out the logistics of all of this. And it's, they had bought a house in Chicago and they had to put that on the market and find a place to live. And all of this had to happen in a very, very short period of time. So Walker, for you make this decision. It's the right decision for you and your career, but behind the scenes, what does it actually look like?
Yeah, I mean, every trade, every move is different. So, I mean, this is my 4th club, so I've done the move 3 times. Everyone is so different from the other. This one was different for a few reasons. It was the first time I was going to be in free agency, which was a new process for me. It's the first time that I had kids really involved in the equation, which changes a lot. We had just bought a new house in April of this past year. And so we just moved into a new neighborhood and making new friends and feeling very established like in the Nashville community. And so there were just a lot of pieces that we had to move. And to top it all off, the biggest one was, my wife, Sally, is expecting due end of April, early May. So then we're like, okay, it probably makes sense to have the baby in Nashville, with
all the doctors are there,
all the doctors, all the community, everything like that. And so then we're like, okay, now we're talking about not just being gone for that whole 4 to 6 week preseason, which is more normal with the Jan camps over the years, all the preseason trips. So that part was normal through January and February being apart. But now you're in a stretch where you're like, okay, they're here right now for 2 weeks, and then I won't see them again until I go back for the birth of the baby. I might be able to go home actually in 2 weeks for 2 days. But it's just very much a back and forth situation, which we haven't had to do in a while, especially with kids, because it just adds they need the attention and love from both parents. And that's been the hardest part, is being so back and forth and a lot of FaceTime. And, it takes a lot of commitment in that regard. But that part was hard. So all of those things, you find out, okay, I'm not coming back to Nashville. And then you start thinking, okay, what makes sense for me as an individual? But now, like I said, kids and wife are involved. What makes sense for our family as well? And so looking at our support and our community, I'm like, okay, Eastern Conference probably makes a lot more sense if we're going to have to be split apart doing this travel. What teams need center backs? What are the coaching staffs like? What are the players that I know? What are the ambitions of the club? All those things tie into it. And ultimately it led me to Toronto. But yeah, I mean, it's a huge shift in your life to where I was up here setting up our whole rental house, trying to get furniture and, getting an air mattress and going to the mall to get like pillows and bedding the day that my family got here to try and set up some beds. And it's just like, it's a lot of juggling things on top of what our day-to-day job is. But it's also been really fun. It's really fun that we have the opportunity to, one, do this for a living, but two, explore new cities. I'm like, man, Toronto's a great city. I've gotten to try so many different restaurants and places, and obviously go to the Raptors games, Maple Leafs games. Like, there's a lot that this city has to offer, and I'm excited that we get a chance to keep this adventure rolling, if you will, at season 14 of, okay, like we had 6 in Nashville, and maybe we end up going back there one day to live, but like another fun adventure for our family and the kids and all of it.
I mean, I think as a professional athlete, you just probably have to kind of embrace that mentality, right? Like it's tough to get
it's part of the gig.
comfortable.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, like, I think there is such a newness and freshness of like making new friends, new teammates, like everything is new, and that brings excitement to it, and it brings another challenge to it, because it'd be easier to stay in your comfort zone and with what's normal. But I think now it's like it challenges me to, again, raise the level on the field, to be a more engaged teammate off the field, especially for the times when my family's not here. It's like that gives me time to connect with my teammates in a way that I haven't had since I've had a family. So there are ways and things that you can kind of spin into a positive light, but it's definitely not easy doing the whole back and forth thing.
God, no. That's it. It's stressing me out hearing you talk about it, because moving is terrible at any point.
Yeah, and especially across the border, because I'm having delays on the mattresses that I'm supposed to be getting, on deliveries, and
nightmare.
It's a whole
nightmare. Thing. How helpful are the clubs in these situations? Like, it differs from team to team. Imagine it does. Yes.
Yeah, but Toronto has been amazing.
Okay.
They're known for their player care. They have a whole department dedicated to making sure that these transitions, you don't feel alone, that you feel taken care of, and they're with you the whole way. And that started from the time that I was on the first call with them in free agency to now, when they're still arranging for things that they don't even have to do still, like, helping us get a ride for my family from the airport when they land, and making sure it has car seats, and they're just like little things that go a long way and take a huge amount of stress and time off of the players' hands, so that we can really be more engaged, both at the facility, but then when we get back home too, we're not drained out. We can know that we have a support system around us.
Oh, that's amazing. I love hearing that. So you said, your initial impressions of Toronto are very, very positive. I've loved going to Toronto during my time at MLS. It was always one of my favorite cities to visit. What, like, coming from Nashville, especially living in Nashville and being a Georgia boy, Toronto it just feels very different.
It's
but
different.
what have you kind of leaned into since you've been there?
To be honest, like, everyone's always like, oh, the weather and it's so cold. And like, honestly, I'm like enjoying living in the cold. And I know it's a stark difference to like the Nashville, like it was like 78 or like 80 in Nashville this past week, and we just got snow. In fact, yesterday I just, let me just flip my phone around here. I had Tucker across the street, and we built 4 snowmen. So you can see those are some pretty big snowmen there. So that took a while. But that's just like, it's just a fun new activity.
Aww.
And there's something about, like, I got my first nice like winter jacket. I've never felt like I've needed, like,
what kind did you get?
I got a Canada Goose.
Of course you did.
And
yes.
And it's like, best. I never realized, I'm like, oh, jacket's a jacket is a jacket. And I'm like, yo, this thing is nice. And so it's just like I'm walking a lot more to do errands and being out in the cold and I had my first week, I had to get my first purchase, I think, was the jacket, the boots, and the gloves.
Smart.
I'm like, I gotta stay warm when I'm out walking. So it's been fun. It's been different. That's definitely the biggest difference. But then there's a lot of diversity here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many, I feel like I'm speaking of the food a lot, but it's a good representation of all the diversity. It's like you walk down the street and you can see a different cuisine from a different country, like all the way down
Yeah.
the few
Yeah.
blocks. So
Very cosmopolitan. Have you had Italian food there? Because
I
like
have very good,
apparently it is just like the
very good.
Italian food is insane. And like I didn't realize like Sebastian Giovinco still like
Yeah,
has a place there.
for sure. And still part of the club. He's in and around the
Crazy.
facility a lot. And so, yeah, we have a lot of those guys stick around and help out. And that's just a testament to what the club has done for them.
I love it. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I obviously when's Sally due? When is the baby coming?
So due date's May 8th. I
Okay.
don't think we're making it there. So hopefully end of April we can keep baby girl in there till end of April.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Man, it's all good things. All good things,
It is.
Walker. And
is.
you know, thinking about like I remember my first 2 seasons at MLS, Toronto were in an MLS Cup final, and like it feels like you guys have like some really, really great pieces in place to kind of build to get that club back up where it should be.
That's the
So
goal.
I'm
That's the goal.
stoked for you, my friend. I'm also stoked for this next segment because we do this thing on Kickback Committee. This is basically like you're really getting the full experience here on your first episode. We have a voicemail that our listeners can call in, and basically it's like an airing of grievances or just you know, their overall thoughts, maybe like a therapy line after watching their teams play at the weekend. And so we like to play some of these
Perfect
voicemails and then yeah, just kind of talk through them a little bit. But they're always fun, they're always entertaining. So you ready for your first voicemail experience? All right, here we go. All right, Douglas, cue him up. Who we got?
Dave from South Jersey. The Union should be on wooden spoon watch as Indiana Gaslas is part of our offensive something. So yeah, still keeping up on the card chart though. Fuck New York FC.
Wow, I'm telling you, like
that's the Philly fan for you though.
It gets wild. Okay, so well, how do you like? They're throwing out wooden spoon conversations already. Yeah. Walker, we're only like 3 or 4 weeks into this season.
This is the same city that's going to complain when their Eagles make the Super Bowl and lose after winning it the year before. You know what I mean? Like they're not going to be content with anything less than championships. When their Phillies make it to a Game 7 and lose, like they're just, yeah, it's tough. I mean, their team just won the Supporters Shield, and now they're, you know, removed from that and they're unhappy.
I will say I do think they might be in a little bit of trouble this season. And I know it's early, but like when you get rid of all your good players, like that's kind of, you know, you put yourself in a vulnerable position.
You do. Yeah. I think it's so early. It's 4 games in. It's a club that's been known to have a lot of sustained success.
Yes.
So I think anytime you see a club that has been that consistent, I think it's even harder to predict that they're going to continue this form that they're in right now.
Okay.
Because I think that they have kind of that history to fall back on. It'd be like if Seattle, for example, like such sustained success, so like year over year over year, how many times have we seen like towards the end of the summer where a team is like, oh, I think they're out, and then all of a sudden, boom, they kind of get it together. So is it concerning? Yes. Is it wooden spoon? I would be shocked. And shout out Indy Vasiljev, dude. He's a great guy. I love that guy. He's super funny, great mustache.
Great mustache.
Scored a good pin for him 2 weeks ago. So still rooting for him.
Love it. Great stuff. Dave, listen to Walker, okay? Too early for the wooden spoon talk. All right, Douglas, cue up our next voicemail.
Hi, my name is Rashi. I'm from Washington, D.C. I am a massive Spirit fan. I think that the Washington Spirit are going to win it all this year. I think that they are undoubtedly the best Spirit team we've ever seen. And this is our first time in a few years where we have a head coach for the entire season, knock on wood. So I'm pulling all in for the Spirit. We're going to kick butt. Also, how do you dismiss the team that's gone to back-to-back championships? This is going to be the year where we win the championship. I feel it in my bones. Go Spirit.
Okay, so Rashi, unlike Dave, is brimming with confidence for the Washington Spirit, which I love. I think it's fantastic. I also think, she's completely entitled to feel that way because the Washington Spirit are very, very good.
Yes.
Very good. This is a team that is just has proven to be formidable, especially in the playoffs. And it's when you splash out for players like the way they did
That's what I was gonna say for Trinity Rodman.
for Trinity.
I mean, it's a player that is. There are few players that are good enough to carry a team. I'm gonna say individually, but a large portion of production, especially in front of goal, that she will be able to do for them. So I don't mind the take. I think there are some other good competition, competitive teams out there that can give them a run. But yeah, I don't hate the take at all. If you're a fan of the Washington Spirit, why would you not be excited?
Exactly. I do. I love the positivity. And I think that until they give them fans a reason to not feel that way, like ride that train, ride it. Yeah. Good for you, Rashi. Okay. We've got Megan from Kansas City next, I believe. Douglas, let's hear it.
Hey committee, it's Megan, the Sporting KC fan, who's also a Kansas City Current fan. If we don't have midfielders, can we play? Just asking for a friend.
I don't know what team she's referring to.
I'm
maybe both. I'm not.
It could be both. It could be both. Well, I will. Kansas City got a result this weekend.
They did
against the Galaxy.
Former club, Joveljic with a classic, poacher's goal there, just cut inside right foot. I think it deflected a little bit, but this guy, I talked to Shallowy, about him and as a goal scorer, I was like, dude, it's crazy. I mean, he just consistently keeps producing. So yeah, to do that against his former team, I'm sure he was happiest guy in the field that day. I
mean, I will say, I think Megan had called previously a few weeks ago. I think after Sporting Kansas City's first game of the. But
again, I mean, talk about a team that similar to a Toronto, where they're kind of adding all the pieces, whether that's coaching staff, they're undergoing a huge transition in that club, and so to expect everything to be sorted right away again, I'm not trying to downplay anything, but there needs to be a little bit more time before we jump the gun. But back to the point, if you don't have midfielders, can you play? I think the answer is you can play. It just might not be the pretty style that you're gonna want to watch as a fan.
Exactly. I will say in our preseason predictions, Kansas City came in pretty low, and I think it's because
and the West has been they're very good right now.
The West is tough, and also they've been pretty straightforward about we are in a rebuild. So Walker, as a player, when you hear this, oh, this is a rebuild. How is that received by a locker room when you are the guys in there and you're like, well,
I think it depends on how it's framed.
Okay.
Because if you're framing it as, oh, we're in a rebuild, it would be good for us to, this is a tough team. It'd be good for us to go in there and try and get a tie. If you're framing stuff like that and you're like, no, we are professional athletes. We're here to win. So a rebuild can be framed hey, I think we're putting together the right pieces and it might take a little bit of time to gel, but I think we have the pieces here to do something special this year. Great way to frame it. If you're look, guys, we aren't quite there yet. This is a really good team. It's going to be a tough time for us. It's away from home. If we can get a point, we can scrap something and get it together, and maybe we do it ugly, but we can get a result. It's I don't love talking like that.
No.
So I think it's more of a framing, and that comes mainly from the staff and from the leaders on the team about expectations and
Yeah, important to get that narrative right. I feel especially
and you can still have a rebuild and look at what Michael Bradley was just played this Red Bulls team. They're in a little bit of a rebuild, but look, totally. It's a youth movement, and you see the commitment to it, and so that's a team that's looking to establish an identity, but it's clear that they have an identity of how they're going to play, who they're going to play, how they're going to press. So, yeah, I think. He's going about that in the correct way. That's going to give them confidence.
I love that. Okay. Next one, Douglas, who we got?
Hey y'all, it's Megan from Kansas City. I think soccer is great.
What?
Oh, this is
the Kansas City one?
Okay. That was part one. Megan was a two-parter. So the first part was about KC Current. The second one was about Sporting Kansas City. Okay. Well, Megan, I'm happy for you. And I hope that you can celebrate that your team pulled off a big result against the LA Galaxy. So be happy. And also, like, Current, they win. You gotta take the dubs. You just gotta take the dubs.
Well, isn't Chris Armas is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, give him some time too. Like, well, it's hard when you're 4 weeks in and even less with NWSL. I mean, it's hard to really make these claims so early. Like, you gotta give teams a little bit of a chance to get their feet wet, find their identity, and it's not an excuse, but it is a reality.
It 100% is. I get it because like I'm a super fan of Liverpool. I'm a diehard Chicago Cubs fan. Like when my team, like I'm a bit of a fatalist sometimes. I'm like, well, this is it. Yeah. This is over. So I get it. Yeah. I get the gut reaction thing, but sure. We're here to tell you, like, both of your teams won this weekend. So celebrate that. That. Okay, who else we got?
Hi, I'm a Philadelphia Union fan. I just feel ashamed to root for this team at this point, given Ernst Tanner's behavior and the way that ownership clearly condoned it for years. And on top of that, they won't even try to win. The club almost did it in spite of itself in 2022, but that feels like it was an aberration. And I just think the league is going to fold before we ever win a championship.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Why care anymore?
Oh, my God. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. That was depressing. That was just utterly and truly depressing. I mean, I don't know what to say. I feel like we're trying to be, like lifting the spirits here on Kickback Committee. 215 from Philly, man. You got to pull it together. You gotta pick yourself up by the bootstraps and try to reframe all of this, because we've talked about it on the show. Walker just said it's early days, my guy. Early days. Anything can happen.
And aren't they're 2 years removed from a Supporters Shield?
Exactly.
And like how many years removed from the MLS Cup final that was in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah, not many fans around the league can claim as much success as what the Union has had, but I get it. I get being, what I love though? I love that there are high expectations as a fan for a team. That doesn't faze me as an athlete. Like, I want my city and my fans to care about the club. That's a lot better than having it's a family friendly environment and like we just go to the game where they win or lose and just kind of have a good time as a family. Like, I prefer the fans that are going to put some pressure on the players in a reasonable way. If it's later on this season and they're still in a similar spot and games have been, similar to ones they have in the first four games, that's a different conversation. But I like that fans are caring about their club like that. It matters. Sports matter to people. And so that pressure we have to take as athletes to know that we got to perform. Otherwise we're gone.
I 100% agree. I also think too, like that was a very, very dramatic response.
I'll take the bet on them winning something before the league folds. I'll take that.
I absolutely will take that bet. All right, 215. We need to turn this around for you. Okay. It's not all doom and gloom. Okay. I think we have one more voicemail. Let's hear it.
Yes, this is Nick of the ATL, fan of Atlanta United. I would like to thank Duop, the Philly Union, for coming into Mercedes-Benz today and just absolutely playing like dog water. And we rolled over them 3-1 and finally won a freaking game for the first time in 290 days. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your trip back to Philadelphia. We move on and play Douglas's beloved DC United next week. Thank you. Bye.
Wow.
Has it actually been 290 days?
I think it has. Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a rough
crazy
for the ATL,
crazy, yeah.
Which is crazy. I just feel bad for Philadelphia fans right now because now the Atlanta fans are even dunking on them. So,
I mean, especially with the doo-op, that might be the ultimate bit of slander.
That was some serious slander. Oh man. Hey, Philly fans, guys, hang in there. It's gonna it can always, the only direction is up, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's my overall takeaway. Well, that was fun. Do you get the gist of the voicemails?
Oh, no, this is fun. I could listen to
Walker,
a lot of these.
it's man, like I said, it's like kind of a therapy session for some of these listeners, but that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
You know?
I hope it doesn't put me in compromising positions in the future, that you guys really vet these voicemails. So I'm not like, put on the spot here, whether it's a Toronto fan or
absolutely
going
not.
after some of my friends.
Absolutely not. No. And also you would get up there and defend them like hell.
I would.
That's what you do. That's what you do. Walker, guess what? We are 87 days away from the start of the World Cup, which we are clearly all very, very excited about here at Kickback Committee. Obviously you played in a World Cup, so I can't imagine that it gets much better than experiencing that. But is there a memory you have as a kid, like growing up watching it, like that just stands out, like your favorite World Cup memory from before you were a professional player?
I mean, it's got to be Lannon's goal,
right?
2010. It's crazy because like people always ask that question, like, "Oh, I'm like, dude, what moment has been better in my lifetime that like I'm gonna remember?" Like, there's been some cool, like, amazing goals, and you got right away.
Dempsey's goal stands out.
Like how memorable and like epic. Like, how can you get more epic to advance on a last minute play like that? So that one obviously stands out the most. You got Tremaine Jones' rocket of a shot. But yeah, I mean, that one for me still, it's got to be Lannon's.
How old were you when that happened?
I would have been 17.
17. So you were like old enough to be like, oh my God. Do you remember where you were when you were watching?
I want to say I was actually like at a soccer tournament, and we had gone into like a restaurant that had TVs to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you were with like soccer minded people.
Yeah.
And I bet it was just epic.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Lost your minds. I was at work. I was like one of my first jobs, and I was like watching secretly on my laptop. I was supposed to be working, but I was watching, and I like jumped up and started screaming, and everyone was like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And I was like, "Doesn't anyone care?"
Yeah, like, how are you guys
how are you not all watching this? Yeah, it was. Oh man, but yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, you're right. It is incredibly hard.
Doesn't get more epic than that.
It doesn't. We obviously are just like this. We've been talking about this World Cup for so long now that it's going to be on North American soil. And so this buildup is just super, super intense, especially from a media standpoint right now. And we're obviously going to all be cheering for the US. But I always like to have, Walker, a second team. I don't know about you, like growing up, like if there was like,
do you pick it prior to your first team being eliminated, or how does that work?
This is a great question. This is exactly what we're here to do. So like, when we were coming up with ideas and how to like, get people excited, because we're assuming most people watching and listening to this are going to be cheering for the US. But how can we help people pick like a second team to watch? So like when I was growing, like I loved the Colombian flag. Like I just loved the colors in it. And so I was like, well, Colombia is going to be my second team. But there was no like.
But don't you feel like it happens like, did that happen after they started playing some games in that tournament?
I think probably like
because I'm looking at like South Africa, obviously the opener, and you watch them score that goal. You're like, I'm rooting for South Africa.
South Africa,
And then it's like, or Diego Forlan when he was just scoring goals like crazy. I'm like, I'm rooting for that team. It's like, I feel like it happens naturally. Like you kind of get the momentum and wave and vibe of like what a team is doing that you then like jump on the bandwagon. And then pick. I don't know that I could just go into the World Cup and be like, I'm rooting for the US and whoever,
So for you, is it more about like the brand, like the type of football you like to watch?
No.
No, not
for
at
me,
all.
it's the story.
Okay.
Typically I would be rooting for the underdogs and like a nation that just gets a huge lift from their team and rally together to like do something amazing and have a big upset and go further than anyone thought they could. Like that story to me, I mean, we've seen it and heard it in movies and all that, but I still need more.
So
I
an
love rooting for it.
underdog would
Underdog
be something
story
like if
for
you
me
liked.
is, yeah, it's always
Okay.
going to be more. It's going to be easier for me to root for than like, oh, this team hasn't won in like 3 World Cups. I'm like, okay, well, they've won, so
They've won, right? Okay,
they had their moment.
Okay, so underdog. I feel that's a really, really good qualifier. Okay, so one of the things that we had discussed was maybe like based on like, and it sounds this, and mind you, Walker, this is also for like the casual fan who like might
You're
be
gonna say colors, jerseys.
kits. Yeah.
Look, I think it's probably been well documented in my MLS career that I am not very fashion forward.
What? That is not true.
Look at my history of arrival fits, and you will see I don't put much time or thought into my game day wardrobes.
You put time and thought into your hair. Now that could be one.
Dude,
which team has the best hair?
Time and thought, or just lack of getting it cut for 5 years. Well, I mean, I got it trimmed.
It was iconic.
It was.
It was like, and I saw your hair when it was really long and like it was like down. You conditioned it. Like I can see, like you kept very good care of your hair.
Well, I appreciate that.
I just want you to know that did not go unnoticed.
I will take that. But
okay,
fashion, not my.
This is not your.
It's not my thing. I don't want to spend the time, the money, the effort into trying to find a look. I'm like, I'm a comfort over everything else. So I'm like this sweatshirt, so comfortable. I got sweatpants on, comfortable.
I have sweatpants on right now.
Game day. I'm like, what's the weather outside?
You're very practical.
Like, very practical. I'm in it for like 5 minutes tops. You know what I mean? Like straight to the locker room, I'm in my training kit. Like I don't need to wear some crazy combination of things.
I love it.
So all that to say, I'm not a fan of the kits or like the type thing. I'm out on all that.
Okay, so that's not for you. What about like food? You know, like if like
out
on food. Okay, so
I'm definitely limiting.
No, but this is good because we're going to create. Did you ever see those quizzes in BuzzFeed where it's like kind of like, are you like? I remember I took one that was like, which Sex and the City character are you?
Oh,
are you a Carrie or are you
I'm a Gryffindor.
He's a Gryffindor. I am too. Thank you very much. So this is kind of like we're trying to create this, and so we're trying to figure out like qualifiers. So like, I think like getting the player's perspective is very important. So it's like for you,
how about a country that you visited?
The vibes.
Before?
A country that you visited before is a great call. A country that you visited and had a great time in. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yes.
Because if you didn't, then
you would not root for them. You would root for the person playing them.
Exactly. Okay, so I feel like if we can land on 3, this is going to be a very crucial part of our eventual BuzzFeed quiz that comes together. So for Walker, it's going to be the story. Underdog story. We're going to say, can we say like, is vibes of the team a thing? Like, is that it for?
I mean, like momentum. Yeah. But that kind of ties in like storyline or like whatever. But like, yeah, momentum. There's like a rootability factor. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to pinpoint what criteria.
No, but I think that's true. Like a likable team. Like they just have like okay, so likability, underdog story, and if you visit,
connection to the
country. Boom. Those are our 3 from Walker Zimmerman. Douglas, our producer, is frantically writing this down.
Yeah, so that we'll get a good image of it.
Combine. Yeah. This was good. See, this is really helpful. And like you brought a different perspective than a lot of us.
For those who can't see, we get comments from our lovely producer, and in the side of it, aye. So he's on it.
Douglas is on it. Oh man. All right. Before we go, Walker, we do at the end of the episodes, I watch quite a bit of reality television. I don't know if you do. So
I do.
Oh, you do?
Oh, okay. I do.
What do you watch?
I mean, we've already been on for about 59 minutes.
Yeah.
And if we want another 59 more, this is the right topic. I'm a huge Survivor fan. which I
Nobody
love.
else is on
I
committee.
Well, that's crazy because I feel like half of America is, so they're in the minority there.
Oh.
I love Survivor. I've been known to host many a Survivor game night where I am Jeff Probst, and I have hosted probably 6 or 7. I actually did it for our Olympic team over in France, and they had the time of their lives.
Oh my God.
Team bonding. Done it for small groups at church. I've done it for soccer teams in Nashville. Groups of friends for their birthday. So I've got a note on my phone that you can scroll continuously for probably like 30 seconds, and it has like my list of games, different idols. I have on my computer documents about like I make up riddles and poems that are leading to an idol. I have a whole formula down that it is probably my most prized possession in terms of in my notes folder on my phone. So big Survivor fan. Really excited for season 50 right now. If you are not watching it, you need to start because it's a great season to start with. I loved the Traitors season that just happened. Traitors,
oh my God.
Rob,
Obsessed.
Mora. I mean, what an amazing performance. Best Traitor we've seen. Just played a phenomenal game. I watched Beast Games, so that was always a fun. So these are like the reality kind of like fun game shows that I enjoy. On top of, as I mentioned earlier, we're always watching the Bridgertons, the rom-com types that are always out there. Shrinking, we need to catch up on that. But a lot of shows that we watch together, and then I have my road trip shows that are more of the action and other side of the coin.
Does Sally, is she like, no, you can't watch this because we have to watch it together? Because
that would be more of like the Bridgerton type, but she will like follow along with Survivor, kind of like half watching. She wouldn't really care if I watched that on my own. Beast Games, she actually wanted to watch the finale together. Traitors, she's actually probably the most into Traitors. It's probably the only, I would say, game show that I think she really actually enjoys. And I was dying to try and get on that show when my career's done.
Oh my God.
I'm a little disappointed that it's gone to the civilians, but I understand it. I think it will be good.
I still think they're gonna, because so this is how into the Traitors I am. I am now watching like the UK season.
I was about to start and I couldn't watch it in
They're
Canada.
so good. They're
Can't
so
watch
good.
in Canada. I got to get a VPN.
They're really, really entertaining. And they like some of their seasons, they have combined like the normies and the like celebrities, so to speak. I feel like there's going to be like multiple iterations in the US. Like there's still going to be like celebrity Traitors. And Walker, I will literally die on that hill for you to get on.
I've been hosting Mafia nights at my parents' basement since I was like 15 years old.
Oh my God. This is so exciting for me.
But
the
I tell you what, like,
thing.
I think deep down though, like I think if I were to really love playing the game, it would be as a faithful, which is
okay.
I just think it would be so hard for me. I think I could definitely lie to people to their face and be like, okay. I think the hardest part about it for me would be like the reactions at breakfast every morning. My heart would be, I would be sweat. If I'm wearing like Rob and I have overalls, you're going to see beads just going
dripping.
down the sides. And they would know so fast. Like, yo,
he was the coolest cat in the room at all times. And he was lying to everyone.
And
I don't know how
it's
he did it.
remembering the whole time that it's a game. I think if you can somehow like
you got to separate. Separate the emotions.
Separate and be so normal and play it, like he said multiple times, like play it as if I'm a faithful. Like you almost trick your brain into thinking like, no, I am a faithful. I am a faithful. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was even after Candace tried to throw him under the bus. Some of the things, I'm not going to get into that part.
Wilden. It's so good. I'm so excited that you are so into this because
Survivor,
now I know when
there should be a weekly or monthly Survivor recap whenever I'm back.
That is 100% going to be number one on the rundown for you when we do our episodes together. Can I get
your Mount Rushmore of Survivor?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I have Suri up on there because I feel like she was like one of the best players.
She's played the most games of most days played on Survivor, I think.
Yep. Suri is on there. I mean, trying to think of. I loved. Was it Kyle, the guy who busted his
Kyle, yeah,
his
leg,
Achilles?
yeah.
Oh, I was gutted. I thought he played such a good season.
He could have been a good guy for season 50. I think for season 50 that a younger new age player is probably going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think the old age, I think they're going to get voted out here.
Like Colby's like an OG, right? Like this guy,
yeah.
but I love him. I still think he's got it. Like I still think like.
Yeah, there's a rootability factor for the older people for sure. I just don't think that the people who are there playing will honor the old folks.
Who, like, of this season of Survivor 50, who do you I know it's early, but like
I said, I think it's gonna be a new age kind of like not extreme threat or extreme likable. So like you look at a guy like Christian, I'm like, he's too likable. He's gonna get voted out later. But I look at a guy like Charlie, and I'm like, he kind of fits. He's a newer age. He's smart enough to win, but he's not the most.
He got burned in his season.
Yeah. Genevieve, I think, could be good, but she's probably too much of a killer. I want to see how Camilla does without the Kyle alliance.
Yeah.
But I think someone in that vein of just like mid threat level and new age, I think is going to be our winner here.
I agree. I'm looking at, I really liked Charlie on his season.
And the Taylor Swift connection, you know.
He loves T Swift. So I'm here for it. Oh my gosh. This is Walker, I'm very excited to revisit our Survivor chat the next time you come on. This is music to my ears. Your first episode in the books, my friend. How did you feel about it?
It was easy. No beads of sweat coming down the armpit.
You did great.
Calm, cool, and collected. You guys make it easy for me, and no, it's a blast to be on the mic.
Oh, we are truly, I meant it when I said it. Like, we are just so over the moon to have you as part of the Kickback family. Cannot wait to catch up with you in a month or so and hear about all the things that are going on and obviously talk about Survivor. But Walker, you're the best. Good luck this weekend. We're always cheering for you, my guy.
Thank you.
And huge thanks to everybody for paying attention. Thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for all the voicemails.
Yeah, get those voicemails
Get those voicemails in. Walker wants more. Download and subscribe to all of our podcasts, including Committee, First Touch Weekly, and Soccer Wise. Follow us on all the socials. Find us on SiriusXM. And, of course, tell your friends, everybody. Have a fantastic week, you guys. We'll see you next time.